gotta start talking.
He's got like 4 more on pillow. Can we please play the like? Isn't it like Eminem or some shady? It's like, guess who's back?
Back again. Shady's back.
The Benchwarmers are back.
That's the one. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. It's been like 2 months since we've been here, but
So basically, we should have started this after Christmas break. Like, this should have been the first episode. But it's not, so...
you know, we were just so anxious to get started, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, bad planning on our part.
Yes.
Because then it was Thanksgiving. So we were like, we're not doing one then.
We went
couldn't
home.
do it.
Well, I went home for Thanksgiving and you stayed here.
I was stuck here. And I went to Vegas.
She went to Vegas for 10 days.
So I missed 2 episodes right there.
And then we were here for a week, which was finals week. So we were busy.
So, like, I needed to lock in.
And then we went home for a month for Christmas.
So now it's January 12th.
And we're back.
And we're back. The Benchwarmers Part 2 debut is here.
Yeah, literally. It's like basically our debut. Like,
It's
all over again. It's like our first episode.
Yeah, it's basically that.
We have new equipment. You can't tell that, but we can tell that.
We can tell that. It kind of hurts my eyes, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's kind of bright, but it's good.
Bex is still here.
Thank you, Kristen. Bex is over there.
Trying to eat his bones. He's like 3 feet longer than what he was.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Bex went home to your parents' house, to his grandparents' house, from basically Thanksgiving until like we came back from Christmas break, and so I hadn't seen Bex in like a month, and I came back and he's like twice as long. I don't think he's gotten like taller at all.
No.
But this wiener dog is so long, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So
he's literally like 3 feet long.
yeah, he's a long little guy.
But it's okay. So hopefully he's good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Armac basketball is in full swing.
Exciting as ever.
It has been so exciting. Like
Yes.
I was excited, but like there have been some upset games and like some scores and stuff like that. Like it's been super exciting.
That I was not expecting at all. I don't know. And there's teams that are like I know we're only like 3 weeks, probably like what, we're 6 games in.
Yeah,
like,
we're
official
probably
Armac,
I think we are
games.
like 6 or 7 games into Armac.
So I'm like, okay, we're only 6 games in, but there's some teams that were like ended top last year. That I'm like, that's crazy that you're so on the bottom.
There's
right
also some teams that were like in the preseason polls towards the bottom that are playing really good right now. So definitely like the preseason polls, I feel like they were accurate to some extent. Like I feel like the top 3 in both preseason polls are pretty accurate, but after that,
Also, though, I didn't expect the RMAC to be as weak as it is.
Yes,
It's
there
not-
aren't very many tough teams,
it's-
especially for the girls.
Yeah, like, and it's not like there's, I don't know, it's just weird. They're all on the same, almost the same playing level.
Yeah.
Where like as last year, I feel like there was like a couple like dominant, like.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that there's one team, really on men or women's, that like just sticks out more than
Like I feel like it's just
like
anyone's
as a dominant team.
Yeah. Like I don't know.
The MSU Denver guys were pretty solid, but
I don't
they
think
were
they should be
beatable.
undefeated.
They were definitely beatable. So
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting.
yes.
So I guess we just jump right.
Yeah,
back
I guess
in.
we can just jump right into games from last week. Correct. Yes.
So like yesterday and Thursday.
Yes. So that is a new. To my understanding, it's a new thing to have Thursday night games in the RMAC. How are we feeling about that?
Like
They do Thursday, Saturday night games. So
it's
there's
new
no
to have the whole schedule like that. Like we would always play like Shattered on a Thursday.
right, like close like rivalry games.
But
I
to have
think.
everyone.
But like
I hate it.
Yeah, yeah. It's not. It has not been fun.
No.
Especially like this last week. Like I feel like a lot of those Colorado teams are coming, or vice versa, but the teams from Colorado will come up here, but they have to start traveling. You know, I don't know. I just think that
I think it's going. I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard for them to be students.
Yeah.
And like good in the classroom
because they're missing so much school. Like, I mean, New Mexico or the like southern Colorado teams have to leave on Tuesday night to get up here. You know.
Also, there was on my little adventure last night. We were talking about the whole like thing as I was driving through a blizzard on no travel advisory roads.
Spear got I think like a lot of but probably most of the RMAC like school locations we got slammed with a snowstorm this weekend.
Do not drive when it says no travel advisory. It was terrifying, and both of us were just sitting there like, oh, they're not that bad, and then we get to Spearfish and we were like, that was bad.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
But to distract us from this, we were talking about it, and he brought up a very good point that I did not think of, and that was that having your games on Thursdays makes you leave earlier, right? So therefore, you're practicing one day, basically. 1 or 2 days, maybe, if you travel far.
That is a good point. I didn't even think of that.
On your home court. So does that take away home court advantage? I was like, that's a good point.
That's a really good point because
you're hooping more at other schools when you're traveling.
Yeah, like when you're traveling, like they'll stop in like random places and I wonder if like, granted they had all of preseason and like so I feel like the home court kind of is there.
But is it going to still be there?
I don't know.
February.
I don't know.
You're gonna go like every other week,
and you're
playing on your court
once
a couple
a week.
times.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Kind of does. I think that also is it makes the crowd participation so much more important at home games because I'm like, even if say come February, teams don't have a home court advantage because they haven't been practicing on their own courts. Now they're going to be solely dependent on their crowd, the energy in their gyms, and not just the fact that they know their gyms well, you know.
But yeah, I was like, when he said that last night, I was like, I never thought about it like
That's like such a good point because like every other week you're only practicing on your home court once or twice.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
But yeah, so that was that.
That was interesting.
You guys should let us know, what do you think?
Yeah.
About this whole
Thursday,
Saturday games.
Night. I think that it makes traveling is just it makes it so much different because like there isn't as much of a rush to get from one place to another, whereas like Saturday night games, like you were leaving right after the game on Friday night to get to wherever you were playing on Saturday night, so I think that changes it too, but
I don't think they're
getting the
teams
more like
I don't think they're getting them home any earlier on Saturday night.
No.
Like,
well, that wouldn't make sense because they're still playing on Saturday night.
Yeah. Because like all the games are at 3 on Saturdays.
Right.
Like so, for the boys' games, like the boys are at 3.
Yeah, it's 1 and 3. Yep.
But like, okay, you're getting done at 5. If I'm in Durango and I'm driving
10 hours home, you're not getting home until
you're saving them 2 hours.
That's that. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd really be curious to know why we switched. Like what?
Yeah.
What made them want to switch? I guess. For sure. It'd be interesting.
100%.
Let us know your guys' take.
Yeah.
Mom, let us know. What do you think?
I just think also like for the students, like we talked about this the other night, like it's hard for us to go to a basketball game and then like get up and go to school the next morning, like that's lame-o.
Well, and like even for like the boys,
or,
like we talked about that last night.
Yeah.
I was like, because he was like, so you're telling me like we're going to play a game and like who knows, we might get blown out, like we might have a blowout game,
right? And
then we were like, oh, you got 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Get up and go to class. Go see everybody on campus now.
I don't know about the other coaches, but I know Thompson's going to be like...
Yeah, Thompson would definitely make our boys go to class the next morning. So.
And I feel like a lot of the coaches will because they are missing so much school.
Yeah, they're missing so much school. And, like, I understand that that's one of the, like, prices that you have to pay as a student athlete. But also, like, you're missing up to half of the week of school
Yeah.
or more. Like, I'm pretty sure, didn't we decide next week the Colorado schools aren't going to school?
Yeah,
Not
because
like not
we
this
don't
week,
have
but the
school
week
on
after
Monday.
because Monday is a holiday.
And then I'm assuming they're going. Yeah.
So I'd assume that they'd leave on Tuesday
to get here Wednesday, so they could play us Thursday.
Yeah, like they won't go to school that week.
No. And then you're missing from like Tuesday to, and then you're not gonna get home till basically Sunday. Like,
that's crazy. That's a crazy time commitment. Like, I don't even think that D1 athletes are committing that kind of time.
No.
Like, that's crazy.
You must be doing your homework on the bus.
Yeah, literally. Anyway, okay, so last week we were home games this week. This was the first week of games after Christmas break, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado Mines played Shadron. Colorado Mines took that one 76-61, which I think
I thought it was interesting because Shaddy is like more towards the bottom, and Colorado Mines like isn't number 1, but they're like
towards the top. Yeah, and that's a pretty close game. Well, and that goes back to like us talking about how it's hard to say like
who's the dominant.
Yeah, there's nothing saying that the bottom team can't upset the number 2 team.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think it just goes to show that the RMAC right now is anyone's to take.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and that's anyone's. Like, someone made the comment last night about how if one team, I'm not gonna say what team, but they were like, if one team, it was not Black Hills, I will say that just so there's no beef started, but they were like, if this team wants to like make it to tournament, they're gonna have to turn their season around like now.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's anyone's game. But like, I think it's too early to say you have to turn your season around like yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even
like,
halfway through conference play. Like, you could split with everybody.
Yeah.
And still, like
stranger things have happened.
I definitely think that, like, I mean, how many teams go to a tournament? Like, the tournament is the end of the year.
6 teams go to RMAC.
I mean, like, you can probably sneak in there in the last 3 weeks. Like, there's nothing saying that you can't.
Well, like, my thing is, like, I don't know. I think it's doable, but
yeah,
it is what it is. But, so then we also had Fort Lewis playing Western. I'm really shocked on how Fort Lewis is, I'm not going to say bad this year, but this is definitely a growth year.
Yeah. Yep, a rebuild year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they lost a lot, though, and I think not only, like, seniors, but they lost to the portal, which is big for teams.
Yep. So Fort Lewis men's team beat Western 75-73.
Western has kind of surprised me. They're playing well.
They're playing good, too. I did see, like, I watched, like, the little bit end of that game. Western tied the game at 73. They hit, like, I have it written here. They hit 3 free throws at 16 seconds. And then Fort Lewis drove and then shot a fadeaway shot with 0.8 seconds.
Oh my God.
Like, drained it. Nothing but net, drained it. And I was like...
Shout out to Biko Johnson on that one, though, for real, because, gosh, I just love buzzer beater games.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so fun, and especially where it's early in the season, so, like, it's not do or die.
Yeah.
Like, your season wasn't on the line, so I think they, like...
Well, and, like, they were still going to overtime. Like, if you missed it, they were going to overtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it was smooth too. Like, he just dribbled down, wasted the clock, and it was just like another shot for him. Just, and then like he made it, and he was just cool. Like no one celebrated nothing. They were just cool as a cucumber. Went into defense for the last like second, and then the clock went off, and they were like, and
that's
I was like,
crazy.
No, like it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Regis came up here to Spear. Jackets swept that night, I think. So, both men and women won for the Jackets. Our boys took it 90-73. But I thought that Regis
was a pretty good team.
Yeah, like it was close until
the very end, I think.
Yeah, like I would say the last 7 minutes of the second half.
And then like it started going toward Black Hills. I have to give Regis credit though. Their zone was insane.
Their zone came out and we couldn't do anything. Literally,
that was a very that was insane.
So I'm just gonna say it now. Tristan Hurdle MVP. MVP right now. Okay, Tristan Hurdle that night.
The award right now.
Literally just hand it over. It's okay. Had 27 points that night. Do you have that down here?
Yeah. 27
points and was 8 for 12 behind the arc.
Yeah.
He had 8 3-pointers.
And they were, like, juicy, too. Like,
yeah, like they were...
defenders just...
Literally in his face, and I don't understand how he does it.
No, it was crazy.
I've been telling Jay we have to get him on here, but we'll have to see about that.
So, you know, if you're watching it...
Tristan!
MVP, we want you.
We have a spot for you. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we'll create a different...
Yeah.
If we do have special guests...
We need to find a new place.
We're going to figure it out. Like, this is, like, cool when it's just us, but... Yeah. But we need you guys to, like, want to come.
Yep, so,
like,
share, comment. No, but, anyway, Tristan Hurdle, 27 points, 8 for 12 from the 3-point line. God, kid, have yourself a night. He was one that Jay and I, like, he transferred in.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if we ever actually posted this episode. We did record an episode, we just never posted it. But it was, I don't know if we did. And remember he had that really good game and we were, like, talking about him. Remember that?
Anyway, he had an outstanding game. Cam Lowe also had a good game.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's just so consistent for us. Like, he's literally puts his head down and works, and he's been enjoyable to watch. So
yeah. And against that game, Regis, he had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And he just, I don't know, he's a great defensive player. Like, he's fun to watch.
Yeah,
he's fun to watch.
And he's so young. Like, I'm excited to get to watch him for the next 3 or 4 years.
He better stay.
I hope he does.
He better stay.
I
feel like
he will. I think he will, especially, like, where this combination of boys is kind of starting to see some success. And, like, not success so much as, like, breakthrough moments. Like, I feel like the game with Tristan, like, he had a decent game earlier in the season, but it wasn't breakthrough until...
I feel like there's, like, our little things are coming.
Yeah.
And by February, if all of our little things are there, they're going to be a good team.
A good team. Yep.
But, yeah.
And then on Saturday, MSU came up here, and then MSU Denver boys took our Black Hills State boys 84-77. So
and that was a good game all the way through. I thought
so too, and it was really tight until again like the last like 3 minutes or so. It was honestly a lot closer than it looks because we started fouling.
Yeah, I will say MSU Denver's good. I might get flamed for this. They are beatable.
I mean, we were within 3 points in the last 2 minutes.
Dominant team. And like, I do not think they should be undefeated.
They have a good big. They have that big, and which was odd. He keeps stepping out for 3, and I'm like, okay, like you got it. One thing that we did notice with MSU Denver is that their energy is insane. Like, insane.
Like, and I think that's what helps them win so much is, like, their bench energy. They had...
Incredible.
They had 3 more kids than what Black Hills had on that bench. And they did not shut up the whole game.
No. If you would have asked me, like, if I was just listening to the game, I would have thought that they were in Denver. That's how loud it was. And they had, like, 11.
13. Yeah. 13 fans.
A whole 13 fans.
And they were sitting there chanting with the bench, and, like...
They were loud. They were like, holding their own against our entire arena filled with people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I think that a big thing with MSU Denver is, like, their energy, and, once they get momentum, usually in the first half, then they kind of just keep it. Like, they just keep
And, like,
rolling.
Even when they go down, like, I'm pretty sure we were up by, like, 5, and that did not stop
It didn't
them.
feel, and, like...
It did not feel like
you can feel it in a basketball game. Like, I felt like we were up by 5, and I felt like we were losing by 10. Like, it was just the weirdest thing. Like, their energies... Unlike any other, I would say, in the RMAC right now. Yeah.
Especially for, like, a traveling.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, absolutely.
On the road like that, I was
and they'd been on the road all weekend, because I think were they in... Yeah, they
swept all weekend. Mm-hmm. So it was very impressive. I would like to see them... I don't know. It'll be interesting, because I think there's a lot of competitive teams out there for them.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Because everyone in the RMAC right now is competitive. I don't think it's...
There isn't a runaway team right now.
No. Yes. And then Fort Lewis and Westminster was 108 to 113. Westminster won.
Those are crazy numbers.
That's
Like, that's insane.
For, like,
insane.
This early. I was like...
Yeah. Well, so, like, over Christmas break, a friend and I went down to Laramie, and we watched a Cowboys game. And I was so, like, frustrated because they went into halftime with 14 points, the Cowboys did. And I was, like, texting my dad, and I was like, how do we only have 14 points at halftime? And my dad was like, well, back in 2010, when I was watching basketball, that was normal. And I was like, Dad, we shoot threes in the 21st century. Like, we shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And so, it's amazing to me that, like, I think the Cowboys right now only average, like, 40 or 50 points a game. And these RMAC games are averaging, like, I would say 80 points a game.
Yeah.
And so,
like, the top RMAC teams are.
Yeah. And, like, I just think that that's so crazy because, like, the difference between D1 and D2 in that sense is, like, there really isn't any.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. So that's all we kind of have for, like, this weekend, like, crazy scores. I mean, you can go through, but we'll be here literally.
Mesa and New Mexico played this week, I think. New Mexico Highlands. And Mesa had 5 guys double-digit scoring, correct?
Yes.
Yes, which is, that's actually insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's 50 points right there, minimum.
Yeah. So that was crazy. And there was, like, 19, 15, 13 or something. Like, it was, like, some high ones, too. So that was cool. So this up and coming, you have Colorado Springs versus Regis. I think that's gonna be
I do too.
A pretty good game.
I think that'll be a good girls game too. I think.
Yeah. South Dakota Mines versus Fort Lewis. I think those are gonna be good games
for sure.
I think those are gonna be good for both boys and girls. South Dakota Mines versus Fort Lewis. CSU.
Pueblo and Colorado Mines. I also think that
for both of them will be good because isn't also CSU Pueblo girls undefeated? I think so.
Yep. So I think it's us and the Jackets and them. I think are the only 2 undefeated.
I'm pretty sure. Black Hills and Fort Lewis. I had to put that one just because like I love when those teams play. Like
it's just fun, and I think that there's like, even though it's not close, I think that there's a certain like rivalry there that like isn't really talked about, but I think it's definitely there, especially like in the last couple of years with all the tournament runs. I definitely think there's
I agree,
some tension, which is fun.
I really wish I was going to that one. I was like,
I know we should have. Why didn't we go down to Durango?
I don't know. We had it pretty good if we would have won, but it's okay. We live and we learn.
It's fine.
But last year when I went to Durango, their gym environment, insane. Really? Like, crazy.
I'll be curious. So, at what point, like, in the season did you guys go down there?
It was in January, I think.
I just wonder because, like, we are still pretty early on, but it's probably year-round.
It was their, like, student section that was popping. They had, like, this whiteboard, and they would write stuff on it, and they would, like...
Our freaking student section must have stole that because they do that every once in a while.
Yeah, they definitely did. And they would put some mean stuff on that too. It was crazy. It was insane, but it was fun. Like it was a fun environment.
Like it's fun. I need more student sections in the RMAC to be like that. At least ours, because our student section
is probably just ours.
So boring. So boring. Like you know the TikTok sound and it's like, and the student section, holy cow. Yeah, that's not us.
That's not us.
No. Not us.
We gotta.
Unfortunately.
But like, even like last year, that was not us. Like our boys were good. We hosted. Like they'll come out if we host a tournament. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so unfair to those like
that is really
the
unfair.
kids. It's unfair. But no. But I'm really hoping that Durango still has their crazy environment and like they just had like their intro to the game was cool. Like they had crazy
our
lights.
Our freaking board was broken this week. Our big
our Jumbotron board is like
broken. So they just said the names.
Yeah, they just
which is like so boring.
It's so high school.
I kind of like their video this year. To begin with, I thought our video was really dumb.
I did too.
To be completely fair, but it is kind of growing on me.
Yeah. But yeah. So enough yapping on Fort Lewis, even though I could yap about them all day. Who knows? Anyway, so For game of the week, I put Fort Lewis and Westminster just because, like, those were crazy scores to put up this early.
Oh, absolutely.
Player of the week, I put Chase Potter from Westminster. He had 30 points against Fort Lewis. Crazy. And I was like, that's tough.
My game of the week was our Thursday night game against Regis, our boys. Player of the week, obviously Tristan Hurdle. The kid's insane. Okay, I'm really excited. Like,
I
for real
you
though.
were gonna put Tristan, so I was like, I gotta choose someone.
No, I for real, like, I'm so excited to see what he does with the rest of the season. Because like now that he's kind of like gotten a taste of like, he's got it, and like I think that he's at least from like what they show at games on the bench, he has a good relationship with the coaching staff, and so I think that with that trust being built up, I think that he's gonna have a good run through the rest of the season.
If he can stay healthy.
Yes.
But I think he's back.
But yes. So that
was all really for men's. I guess we could do predictions, but like, I feel like I can't do predictions yet without knowing how like. Yeah, I mean, like, I need a little bit
like,
more.
We haven't seen all of the other teams yet, so, like, it's
I'm like, I can't. No.
Yeah. For women's, Colorado Christian played Pueblo, and Pueblo won by 3, 66-63.
I thought that was a crazy game, though, because Colorado Christian is, like, ranking-wise, down there.
Yeah.
And then to put up
and especially where, like, Pueblo is undefeated still. So, like, yeah, definitely.
Like, that I thought was a little
And
insane.
again, like, I feel like everything is just, everyone is so even that it's hard to, like, especially the preseason, like, rankings where that was so long ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, and, like, just, like, their, like, rankings based off of their record.
Yeah.
There's, like, Colorado Christian's down there.
Yeah.
New Mexico versus Western. Western took that 49-52, so another pretty tough, close game. I don't know. I'm curious about the Western girls because I can never really remember them being like outstandingly good.
Yeah.
But like they're doing pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I got beef with the Western girls though, so.
Don't care.
Oh wait. South Carolina just won. Bex also has beef with them.
Where are we? Oh, Colorado Mines and South Dakota Mines. South Dakota Mines wins that one by 1, 62-63.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, I guess I don't really know. I'm sure that's a rivalry game.
I'm guessing.
Like I would assume the battle
tech
of
schools,
the battle of the nerds or something like that. Like I don't know. But good game.
Yeah.
I think that because the Mine girls, like at least the South Dakota Mines girls, when we played them, I didn't think that they were like terrible. Like they didn't look terrible. Like
no.
I think that they're a team that have the ability to steamroll other teams or get steamrolled by other teams. Like I think that there isn't really in between, which means that maybe they're working on that with the close games. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Then we had Adams State versus Mesa. That's kind of a little bit more of a blowout, 49-72. Mesa took that one. The Mesa girls, I think, are starting to put some stuff together.
Yeah.
I think they started out really good, hit a slump, and now they're getting the wheels put together back on the bus.
Back on it. Which is like now is the time to do that if you're gonna do it. Like start working towards your peak. At this point in the season is like it's time. Like if you're a mess to kind of start pulling together. Next week we have Mesa and Western,
and that game's Tuesday.
Oh.
So I think that one's gonna be a good one where Western's kind of like putting some stuff together. Mesa's
putting their teams are kind of starting to get their shit together. So it's like it'll be interesting to see what happens. In the next
I agree. I think it's gonna be a good game.
This will be a good indicator to see have they played yet already. Do you know?
I don't think so.
So that'll be a good one, and then a rematch probably much later in the season. So that'll be good.
Then we have South Dakota Mines versus Fort Lewis. I think that one's gonna be good for girls. Just because those are two teams that are like really scrappy, but still kind of towards the bottom.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that one's gonna be good.
Pueblo and Regis.
Those are two topper teams.
Yep. I mean, if I had to pick a team, I would probably pick Pueblo, but I think that it'll be a good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Regis puts together they're a very good first half team. Like they were very competitive, at least with us in the first half.
And I think it's just like little techniques that like needed to like rebounding and like
right. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I think that should be a good matchup.
And then again, just for the girls, Black Hills for Lewis. Again, I don't know. I just think that those games are fun. Like, in the little rival that's not ever spoken about. I think that last year, I don't think the Fort Lewis girls were that good, and they came out and surprised our girls.
Right. Yep.
So I'm curious
It'll
to
be
see
interesting.
how that'll
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So my game of the week I put was Colorado Christian CSU Pueblo, just because Colorado Christian is kind of a more bottom team, and then to only lose by 3, like, that's pretty impressive.
I guess my game of the week will have to be the Battle of the Nerds. I'm going to trademark that. I think that's what we're going to call it now. But the Mines games, the South Dakota Mines girls taking that by 1. I think that a lot of teams, especially where they're kind of middle of the pack, lower of the pack, have a hard time pulling away close games. And so I think that's it's good to see them pull away with a close win here in the middle of the season. So
let me go check on my dog.
Got you. Your player of the week.
How are you supposed to say her first name? Like, is it
Alicia?
Alicia?
Yeah, I bet it's Alicia.
Okay. So for my player of the week, I put Alicia Little, CSU Pueblo. She's like carrying CSU Pueblo.
Yeah.
This weekend versus Colorado Christian, she had 28 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. I was like,
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and she's like also leading the RMAC in a couple things, like
very cool.
Steals, I'm pretty sure, scoring, stuff like that. So,
you know, I don't know if I have a player of the week. Obviously, like I do just really enjoy watching Olivia, Reed Thine, I think is how you say it. I think that she, especially where I don't think that is she a junior or senior?
So. I think she's.
I think that she's still kind of young, and she just dominates. Like
she's good.
She's very dynamic. As far as like she'll attack the basket, she'll hit a shot. So,
and I think she's got like the.
I'm pretty sure she's got an RMAC player of the week like 3 or 4 times now. So
she's good.
Yeah,
and she's also leading in like scoring and rebounding. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. So she's insane. Her little brother Johnny, actually, I think he's a redshirt this year, but he's up here. So it'll be interesting to see what those siblings do in the RMAC in the next year or so. So yeah.
What other RMAC do we got to yap about? Nothing really. This week has been kind of slow.
It has. I'm ready for it to kind of start picking up. I don't want to go to school tomorrow though.
No, me neither.
So there's that.
I have to take a swimming class, guys. Swimming.
Chat, how do we feel about swimming?
Chat, I don't know how to swim. And I'm taking level 4 intermediate swimming for 8 weeks. So,
yeah, so there's that.
So if this podcast dies, and Phoebe's the only one doing it, it's because I died.
It's because swimming got hurt.
I drowned. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So some, just little college. Cooper flag.
Our boy.
Oh my gosh.
And then, God, what's his, the other freshman that's,
I don't know his name, though.
Cool, I'll put it up.
Cooper, though, set the ACC scoring record. He had 42 points against Notre Dame. I was like...
Insane.
He also, this is why it's so impressive to me. He changed classifications, graduated early. He's 17 years old.
Yeah, he said... Did he just turn 18?
He probably just turned 18.
I think he just turned 18, but still, that's insane.
But, and then you're putting up 42 points?
Insane.
Against kids, though, that are, 5th year, 6th year college kids, and he's, 42 points. Just another night in the office for old Cooper Flag.
Kneppel?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yes. But I feel like they're so dynamic duo-y. Yeah. Especially where they're both, little freshmen, little babies. Yeah. And I think, my biggest fear, especially with Cooper Flag, is that he's going to try and hit the league. And I do not want him to hit the league. Stay in Duke. Stay there and, rack up all of your... First of all, make millions off of... he's got to be making millions off of his NIL.
Yeah.
Okay, but also, break all of the Duke records while you can.
You're
like,
breaking
Duke,
the
you're
SEC,
literally there,
or
like
not the SEC,
ACC records. Like, I just do not like. I
No.
hate that kids like that will just go hit the league. So no, he's insane though.
Yeah, I agree. Number 3, Iowa State topped off Texas Tech in overtime by 1 point, 85-84. So that's kind of crazy. It's such a high-ranked team.
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
AP polls.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
I don't think that Texas Tech really that's probably the toughest game that they had on their schedule.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's a crazy that they pulled up, or they showed up. Obviously, took them to overtime. So, number 2 Auburn beat South Carolina 66-63. Another close top ranking team
So
game.
one that's
Again,
not even getting
South
votes.
Carolina. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Again, teams like that just show up, play ball, do what they want.
Yeah. Something that just stabs my heart is how Oklahoma has came out after Christmas and they can't win. They were one of the few undefeated teams left in men's D1.
Mm-hmm.
They were I'm pretty sure they were 13-0. They came out, lost to Bama. Which
Those
Bama's
are freaking rival games are so hard too.
And they had played Bama on the road. Number 5 Alabama on the road.
Of course.
But they were ranked 8th. Oklahoma was.
Right.
But they've lost 2 back-to-back games.
That's
so I'm
just
curious to see how they rebound.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yep. I don't know. I just think that coming off of that break is so hard for
I agree.
some teams. Some teams handle it great and they need the rest, but then sometimes a team will come out and they just lost it.
Yeah.
The wheels just
the
fell
wheels
off
are
and they're just done. So I don't know. It's hard. College women's basketball kind of starting to ramp up. Sometimes I have a hard time with college women's basketball early in the season just because it's not. But since we've been gone, I think UCLA beat South Carolina, the first regular season loss that they've suffered in 2 years or something like that. So
that was great.
That was a big game. But just this last week, number 2 South Carolina got bumped down to number 2. I think UCLA is still number 1 seed right now, and they're undefeated. Number 2 South Carolina beats number 5 Texas by 17 points, winning it 67-50. So that's a pretty wide margin for 2 top 5 teams.
Mm-hmm. Number 9 Ohio State beat Oregon 69-60.
Again,
kind of crazy.
Yeah, I just don't Oregon is not a ranked opponent. I think a lot of times early on in the season, unranked opponents show up and play well, but it has certainly happened a lot this year. So that's
I agree.
Interesting.
Number 16 Tennessee beats Arkansas. Kind of blowout.
By 30,
93-63. So that was quite the blowout of a game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much all. I don't know what else. It's hard to talk about coming right off of Christmas of things. Cause
I guess college football playoffs.
Notre Dame.
God,
the head coach.
Notre Dame. Okay, Notre Dame's quarterback. I love him. I recently have gotten into I was stalking him on Instagram the other day, and I was like, "You're such an interesting kid." But no, college football playoffs have been interesting to say the least. One thing that I was talking to my dad about the other day with that is that with the new design of the playoffs, I think that the teams that make the playoffs shouldn't get because they still called the semifinals the Cotton Bowl and they still had the Rose Bowl, and I think that at least personally I think that those games shouldn't be called those prestigious bowls because it's a tournament play, but they're gonna keep adding to those banners in their arenas, and I'm I think that they're they could also be the Rose Bowl champ and the Cotton Bowl champ and the National Football champ. It doesn't really make sense to me all in the same year, and I think that it's just gonna they're banned it's not validating the whole point of winning the Rose Bowl anymore because you're just moving on to the next game. So I think keep those bowls, but give them to teams that aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that they still get a postseason, like, they get a banner, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that it kind of threw a kink in that whole thing, but
I agree.
Otherwise, I think that it's been interesting. I just do not think, like, Boise State should have been there.
No, I agree.
Like, hot take, I might get flamed, but I don't think they should have been there. For Christ's sake, they almost lost to Wyoming.
Yeah.
And Wyoming didn't even break 500.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, like, I agree. There's, like, little things.
I think, like, they were really good, especially, like, I mean, they played Mountain West teams all year, so, of course, they were, like, dominating, but then, like, Penn State literally threw them around like a rag doll. Yeah. So, I just don't really know.
Like, again, they should have been in that bowl game, but they shouldn't have been
I don't think they should
the
have been in the playoffs. Yeah. It's been interesting, to say the least, to see how that's played out. So
I agree.
Definitely.
So who do you have your money on? Notre Dame or Ohio State?
I want Notre Dame, but I think Ohio State.
That's how I am.
I want Notre Dame to win, but I think Ohio State.
I just love Notre Dame's, like, story, and I don't know. I agree a lot with what their coach agrees with.
Yep.
Like, his morals for his team, the way he has them. Like, pretty tight. I saw, like, this one thing that said that it's, like, not a mandatory thing, but if you want, he's brought in, like, a Bible study for the whole football team thing that they do. I'm pretty sure it's on Wednesday nights, and they have, like, 65 kids show up to it.
Very cool. Yeah.
And so I was like, that's really cool, actually. That,
what
like,
a good program.
I was like, you're building these kids to be more than just a football player.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I feel like a lot of times, like, Big Ten teams dominate, and it's kind of nice to see someone not in the Big Ten, you know, in there, like, competing and doing all that. So
yeah, I agree.
No, that should be a really fun game to watch. So
So that'll be good.
NFL playoffs started today. My Bills took a big dub.
The Chiefs need to, like.
I need them to lose. Although
they're not going to.
They're not going to. And I'm also excited. So the Bills play the Ravens next week, which I think is going to be interesting because both of those quarterbacks are the top, like, the front runners for MVP. Yeah. And so I think that that'll be an interesting game to, like, a matchup, just to see, like, who shows up and who shows out that day. Because, like, obviously, I think that Josh Allen deserves it, but I think it'll be interesting to see those teams go head to head and see what they can do. So we're really excited. I'm really excited for that, and the Super Bowl's coming up. So
we should host a Super Bowl party here.
Yeah, we should.
That'd be fun. That's 6.
We
don't have that big of a couch.
That would be really fun.
Actually. We could, like, cook food all day. Yeah, and we could
buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah,
let's do that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe we should just, like, go somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. Like, chat, where should we go for Valentine's?
Should we, or we could wait and go for spring break.
Like, here's one thing. RMAC is the week before. It's Thursday. No, it's Friday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Friday, Saturday. So I'm like, if BH makes it, it'll probably be hosted in Colorado. Let's
right. Like, somewhere in Colorado.
And then we just fucking tourist Colorado for a week.
I'm done.
We hit Springs, Durango.
Let's do it. That's what we're doing.
We're going skiing.
I've never been skiing before.
Me neither.
Okay, we're gonna go skiing.
Though, I kind of want summer warm.
I know, me too.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get it figured out. Chat, stay updated on that.
Yeah. So, spring break plans pending. Maybe we'll post a poll and see what you guys think we should do.
We'll post, like, our top 3. What else can we yap about?
I don't know. We're back, baby. We back.
And don't worry, guys. We will post a video next week. And the week after.
This is going to be
This is our New Year's resolution.
The Sunday Scaries didn't get us today.
No.
I can't promise that this is going to get posted tonight, but tomorrow for sure.
For sure.
Which, like, honestly, probably will happen a lot.
A lot.
Like, I feel
it'll probably be Mondays.
Film Sunday evenings, post Mondays.
Yeah, it'll probably be definitely Mondays.
Because,
so
like, Sunday mornings are definitely, like, reset time.
Yeah.
Like,
it's, like, my time to sleep, so. But it'll definitely get posted. Chat.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Benchwarmer Pod.
Get us some people wanting to come on here. I do have.
Yeah. Like, share, comment.
Yeah, I do have a couple that, like, maybe want to be on. So,
You know where to find us.
Yes.
Fill out the Google Forms. We won't make you sit crisscross applesauce in between us.
We will find a better place for you to sit. We might even bring in your own chair.
Like, we might have you sitting on like a throne, like.
Yeah, like literally, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. You don't know.
We don't know. We were gonna move the podcast to my dorm room, but I don't have seating, so we're gonna have to sit in bag chairs. So maybe you'll get a golden bag chair.
There you go. I also sent my mom a house today, and she liked it, so.
We might have a house.
We might have a house.
We could have a studio.
We would have our own room. It's a 3-bedroom. I don't got 3 friends.
She's got 1 friend, and we got a podcast studio.
So. Exactly.
Basically, yeah. Anyway, so, like, follow, comment, subscribe anywhere that you listen to podcasts. And then we're also on Instagram and TikTok, so.
Yeah. Tell your friends about us.
Yes, get us out there.
We want you on the podcast. We know you want to be on the podcast. So.
All right. Have a good week, Armac.